Hi, I'm Melinda Van Fleet, and welcome to the Confident Conversations podcast. I'm a confidence and peak performance coach, best-selling author, and speaker who helps businesswomen develop confidence to believe in themselves, take action, and get results. This podcast shares authentic and transparent, thought-provoking stories, tips, and tools from my experiences, as well as incredible guests, so you can continue to build your confidence and live your best life. Thank you for joining me. Let's get started on this confidence journey. Well, hello everyone, and welcome to this week's Confident Conversations podcast. I am fired up because Life and Love Lessons, How to Discover Confidence Through Your Spiritual Journey is available on Amazon, paperback and ebook. And the Audible will be releasing the end of August, more than likely. I'm going to get those files today when this podcast releases. So it takes me about a day to load them and about a month for ACX, which is who Audible works with, to review them and submit them. So if you're ever curious about Audible and how it works, definitely feel free to reach out to me. This is my second Audible book that I have done, and it's not something that everyone does. I guess it's only 5% of books have an Audible. So I definitely have learned a lot on my own, all by myself, and have a lot to share there. I'm probably going to put it as part of a course that I am creating. And if you wonder what my first Audible is, it is Confidence Mastery for Couples, Roadmap to a More Intimate Relationship. And I always like to say that Confidence Mastery for Couples is not just for couples. It is definitely a book that if you are single, I would highly recommend, because it does a lot of self-journey and self-work in order to make our relationship, my husband Ryan and I's relationship, be as happy and at peace and flow as possible. And every day is a journey. So if you're married or you've been married, I'm sure you can laugh and nod along with me. So anywho, two things I was going to share today that I really believe attribute to my success, my husband's success, my clients' success. Gosh, so much success out there with other people, with celebrities. If you study, if you listen, if you learn, if you read other people's books, and that is embodying what you are trying to be. And I know I've touched on this here and there, but I thought that I would read some of a chapter from my new book, Life and Love Lessons, to share with you. And it's from chapter 7, The Power of What If. And if you have not listened to the episode previous to this one, which is episode 94, definitely check that one out too, because I normally keep the Good Karma Success Coach podcast separate in terms of vibe with spirituality from Confident Conversations. But I just strongly believe that there is a very good size amount of women and men that know there's something bigger than us. And if they tap into that power and that mindset and the shifts, the energetic shifts, that they can excel, collapse time, and level up even more than what they're doing now. So we all have individual challenges and things we're going through in our life. So it's hard to be super general about that. But that's why you hire a coach, right? That's why you work one-on-one with somebody, so they can help you kind of dig in and work on whatever things that are need to be tweaked in your life, right? That's kind of how it works. And so you can live your best life and move forward. So anyhow, now I'm going to share the story. And it's called My Sales Business, Embody It. Another thing I used to do when I started as a sales rep was to fully embody the sales rep title. We still did not have a pot to piss in, but in my mind, I was a successful sales rep. I used to attend the local business women's group for their monthly luncheons. Ryan and I had just moved to the Florida Keys, and I was struggling with figuring out how to make any money in sales. I was repping the so-called company based overseas, and it was a nightmare. At the monthly luncheons, with about 50 in attendance on average, we had to go around the room and stand up to introduce ourselves. Oh, geez. The skin-tingling anxiety that I had to overcome and push through was incredible. However, I had faith and each month proudly stood up, held my head high, choked back any negative limiting beliefs, and said, "My name is Melinda Van Fleet, and I'm an independent sales rep." I would promptly sit back down, breathe, and pray no one asked too many questions or questions I couldn't answer. Now I understand that working through that energy sooner would have likely brought the law of attraction into effect sooner, but at least I was on the right path. It took a solid 3 years for my business to take off and bring home over 6 figures, but I kept going and saying out loud, I am a successful independent sales rep. During my travels in South Florida, which tends to be quite hot in the summer months, I never focused on the heat or any of the challenges like many of the other reps did. In my mind, I was a very successful sales rep, and even if someone didn't buy from me that time on that visit, they would buy another time. I mentally put myself in a position of achieving high sales and shut out all the other noise. I envisioned and embodied it every day. Of course it was going to happen. I kept my eye on the prize, my head down, and kept building my confidence that I would achieve success. You can do this too. Diamonds are nothing more than chunks of coal that stuck to their jobs. Malcolm Forbes. So that's just a little snippet again from my new book that just released on Amazon. And it's kind of amazing. I've weaved that vibe of that story with the energetics throughout the book with several different examples of having to make a decision to change something, kind of shutting the door on something to open up the door on something else. And it's, choices that we all have to go through throughout our lives. Every day, sometimes we have to make a choice. Do we shut this door to open this door? And we often get caught up in our heads of the negative things that could happen. What's the downside? We create fear and we create all those things instead of keeping really focused and positive mindset on what could happen. Because you know what? The universe always has our back. We will always be okay. So the more you can create awareness out of the fact that we're always going to be okay, the easier this will be for you. So what does that look like? That looks like taking a few minutes or however much time you need, because you may not even be someone who thinks along these lines, but remember some examples of things that have worked out for you in the past, in your business, in your career, when you've made a job change, when you lost your job, what ended up happening? Something better likely came around, right? You started your business, you figured it out. Sometimes when we hit rock bottom, we have nowhere else to go but up. I've definitely hit rock bottom many times in my career. And the next thing that happened was always better. So if you are someone that's struggling out there with your current situation and you're not happy and you're afraid to make a change, start to think about that. It could be something even small. Like your favorite, beer ran out at the grocery store and you bought a different brand. I don't know, I just saw something goofy, but think of something, just something to hold on to. I don't even know why I think of beer because I don't even drink beer, but anyhow, think of something that you could hold on to as just an example. And that will give you the faith and the confidence to move forward. So yesterday morning, I got up and I'm bucketing it in 3 ways. I had 3 different scenarios happened to me that was just like this cluster of what the heck is going on in the universe right now? What's going on with this energy? What's going on with people? Like, this is so crazy. And it kept happening. And it really put me in like an emotional funk. That's the best way I could say it. And I had to really push through that and really figure out like what the heck was going on. So what I ended up doing again was kind of bucketing it into 3 buckets of situations. And then when I woke up this morning, I had this major realization that, we out there are all talking about, it's okay to be sad. It's okay to, cry and all that's really good. But, sometimes it's okay to be pissed off too. I'm going to be really honest. Once in a while, you know what, you've got to let out that emotion, even if it's not the best emotion. Now, I'm not saying take it out on somebody else. I'm not saying do anything drastic. That is not what I'm saying. But sometimes, it's okay to have like that. You've got to release that anger too, whatever that is, that frustration, I would say. Mine was more of a frustration thing. So I end up venting to my husband. So that's my release. Find someone safe that you can vent to and say, you know what? I just need to vent. I need to get this off my brain and then I'm going to be okay. And that's what we do. We do a lot of that. So I vented. I went to bed. I woke up this morning, I had a new outlook, and I was like, you know what? Out of these 3 buckets of things that happened to me yesterday, to me, they were all lessons and they were all signs of things that I need to fix and change like immediately. And so I nipped 2 of them in the bud already today. And there's nothing negative about any person. There are just situations that the energy doesn't serve me anymore, especially for my vision of what I have going on in our business and how I'm positioning things and what I'm working towards. So 2 of the 3 things that yesterday morning were frustrating, I was like, you know what? There's a reason why those things are frustrating me. There's a reason. There's a bigger reason. There's a lesson here. So what's the lesson? What am I going to do to change it so I can move forward and feel better? And I went on my morning walk. If you follow me, especially on Good Karma Success Coach, I go on a morning walk and I cleared my head and I had a whole bunch of other signals and signs come to me. And I was like, I need to do this. I need to nip 2 of these 3 things in the bud quickly, move through that energy so I can move forward with my business. And they were all business things. So if I can move forward and change this up, then I see momentum coming faster in these categories. And you know what? So far today, it's been a really awesome day. So these are things I help my clients with as a private coach. Definitely reach out to me if you're interested, melinda@melindavanfleet.com. I would love to chat with you. As I mentioned earlier, we all have different challenges, so you know what you need. Which that's what I love, is when people are like, this is what I need. And I'm like, yes, I have the tools, I have the stories, I have the experience to help you. So let's work together. And you can also check out my website, melindavanfleet.com. If you aren't following me on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, anything like that, please feel free to follow me there too. If you wish to get to know me a little better, that would be fantastic. And until next week, I hope these stories help you. Definitely check out my book on Amazon. And I hope every day you're working on building your confidence. Thank you for listening and sharing.